Hey guys, Grumpy here with a brand new Let's Play called Breaking the Rules. What is this Let's Play? This Let's Play is kind of how I like to play Star Sector. So no restrictions, no role plays going on in this. It's just going to be me kind of like breaking the game as much as I can. I was inspired by Francis John, a fantastic content creator. He plays a lot of Oxygen Not Included. And on his channel right now, he's actually doing a quote unquote casual, even though it's like very technical still, playthrough of Oxygen Not Included. And in that, he's doing things that he normally wouldn't do, right? So he's, not to spoil anything if you do want to watch it, but he's basically breaking the game in a way that typically for a Let's Play he wouldn't be doing, right? So that's what I want to do with Star Sector. We're going to do a lot of raiding, a lot of combat. We're going to put together some awesome fleets, so it'll be a lot of fun. That said, this series will be unedited. It'll just be long form content. Episodes will vary between 30 minutes to an hour, just depending. And the upload schedule for this series will be sporadic. And then not necessarily like back to back, so there might be jumps in between episodes, but I'll try to record as much as I can. So the schedule for this, you can expect like maybe 2 dedicated Let's Plays and then 1 episode of like Breaking the Rules is like roughly what I want to go for. So that being said, this will be on a normal size galaxy because I want this to be kind of like a long running series, so we'll make the galaxy very large. And then we'll play on mix still because mix I believe is the best. You can also go for average, which is going to mix your stars and planets, but mix is a nice surprise as to what you'll get. We're playing as Eris Bane. For some reason, this just happens to be my favorite portrait. I'm not sure why. I think she just looks cool. And then the honorific will be ma'am. Let's go ahead and continue. And then to start off with, we'll start as the apogee, and we'll just play on normal difficulty, and we'll skip the tutorial. Now, when it comes to breaking the game, I know you can do the tutorial missions, and then you can do the whole, sell drugs and make a profit while the station is closed. We're not gonna do that. There's much more productive things that we can do that's going to net us a lot more money much quicker. So we'll go ahead and skip, and we'll take navigation. We don't necessarily need navigation. It's just a really, really convenient skill. Honestly, transverse jump should just be one of the abilities that you have permanently. Shouldn't require a skill to get it. It's just so good. Alright, let's go ahead and pause the game. And then let's rearrange our bar. So we need sustained burn. This needs to be salvaged. This needs to be cleared. Transverse jump, as well as active sensor burst. All right. So the goal for this episode is going to be try to hit 1,000,000 credits. We need the credits because we need to buy better ships. The ships that we start with are not anything impressive, especially our apogee. So the apogee unfortunately lives and dies based on the weapons that you have, and to get better weapons, you really need to hit up like Tritachyon worlds that have the plasma cannons, the tachyon lances, things like that. So all that is very expensive. So in order to acquire those things, we need to do a little shopping. So what we're looking for is ideally like a buffalo. Let's see what they have. Nothing in the black market. Anything on the open market? Nothing. Really interesting. Alright, that's fine. We'll just start with a little tougher start. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to add expanded cargo holds to the apogee so that we have more space. It is a cruiser, so expanded cargo holds is going to do very well here. Give us just a lot of space to work with. We're going to change the IR pulse laser up to a mining blaster, and then just finish off with capacity. As far as our Condor goes, let's go ahead and swap out for broadswords. And missile systems, what do you have? Pick up the harpoon. That's fine. And then as far as missiles go, like just small missiles, let's go with 2 harpoons. On the back of the Wayfarer, really nice upgrade. Can we give you safety overrides? I don't think we can. Oh, we can. Oh, perfect. Alright, and then on our Shepherd, we'll go ahead and give you harpoons as well. So the reason I'm giving my entire fleet harpoons is in the early game, harpoons are just absolutely devastating. Very easy to tear apart enemy ships. And then for us, we'll go ahead and give ourselves sabos. The reason we have sabos is just because we'll be able to better manipulate how much when we can impart that damage with sabos. So we'll definitely scoop up those squalls for sure. Thank you. Just make sure everything's good to go. Put the squall on auto fire, that's fine. Sabos can be on too, and then everything else can pretty much be on auto fire as well. Point defense all in the same channel. That's good to go. And this is very unnecessary, but I'm actually going to just put safety overrides on our apogee because we're going to need it eventually anyway. And this just allows us to move a lot faster. Alright. So we spent a good bit of credits already. Actually, just gonna pick up 2 of these real quick. The rest of our money is actually going to go into purchasing goods off the black market and then moving over to Komari Kingdom, where we can head to Chalcedon to unload some of these. So if we look over here, for instance, Chalcedon is always in need of like heavy armaments. They're always in need of marines. They're usually in need of heavy machinery as well. So of these 3, marines are not considered contraband. So we'll actually purchase those. And now what'll happen is, well, let me back up real quick. So the black market generates heat, essentially, suspicion level, as you purchase and sell things to it. That heat can be ignored so long as you don't have any contraband. Once you're above medium, you're going to be inspected. But what ends up happening is if you have decent relations with the faction, then you get no reputation penalty. If you have medium reputation penalty, then you'll actually suffer, or if you have medium reputation, then you'll actually suffer a penalty when they go to inspect you. And if you have poor relations, they'll inspect you and they'll damage your ships. So, because we don't have any contraband, they can't take anything from us. So it's fine if you purchase in that manner. Same thing in reverse. If you go into a black market with contraband, you can sell it off, generate a ton of suspicion, but as long as you don't have any more contraband in your cargo, then it doesn't matter. Because when they go to inspect you, there's nothing they can do about it. You've already made the trade. Alright, is there anything else we want to purchase? Buy some harpoons. Buy some reapers. Buy a needler. Man, it feels so good just being able to purchase things. Yeah. Just being able to purchase things without having any like restrictions otherwise. Okay, so they tried to inspect us. We were just a little too fast for them, so they couldn't. Ooh, hello. But they couldn't. But even if they did inspect us again, nothing would happen because we were we have good relations with the hedge, and we didn't have contraband. So we're gonna go ahead and take this fight. The reason being is we need a buffalo. So hopefully we win it after this engagement. And the only thing that they have is a mule and a hound. If we get the mule, that's also fantastic. The mule has decent cargo capacity at 250. And it's also just a really great platform. Right? Medium universal, so you can put a medium missile in there. 2 small missile slots, and then 3 small ballistics. So go ahead and move into engage. We'll just deploy the 2 of us. And basically, I will hang out near the condor. We'll shoot down the hound, and then we'll go after the mule together. Of the 2, we want our squalls to go after the mule. Looks like we might just actually be able to take down the mule. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I guess we'll actually just take down the mule then. Yeah. I think the condor can withstand the hound, so we'll just focus our attention over here. Oh, I need to use the CM package as soon as possible. Alright. We want to wedge the hound between us so it doesn't escape. But it looks like it's staying. Alright. So we'll claim victory, we'll pursue them, we'll let our second in command handle this. Actually, we'll transfer command over to the Wayfarer. And then we'll take command into action. The reason being is we just don't want that buffalo to get away. And if I deploy frigates, the auto-resolve might just let them go. Alright, but in our safety override ship, we should be able to get close. Toss our shield up. We're going to go ahead and split the buffalo. So that means we're going to get in front of it and we're going to let our shepherd get behind it. We need to change this to eliminate order. Go to assign you. And good job. So let's see if we can recover that buffalo. We can. We could get the mule. It's going to cost us a story point. Because we just started, we don't have any story points, unfortunately. So that is what it is. Alright, and good job, everybody. So just like that, we get the cargo capacity that we need. Once we dock, we'll go ahead and add expanded cargo holds to this. We'll take expanded cargo holds off of our apogee. Just make it a cleaner ship. Alright, good job. That's a lot of vigilance. That's a lot of vigilance. Let's go investigate that. So, when it comes to raiding convoys, supplies, heavy armaments, heavy machinery are S tier. Those are the convoys that you absolutely want to raid. Those are the ones that are going to make you the big bucks. So let's go ahead and investigate them real quick. So the Sunder is all beam. The hammerhead is all kinetic. These all have gazers. I think those are the energy weapon ones. This is a little risky, but I think so long as we just keep our shield up, none of these were going to be that much of an issue. You all have expanded missile racks and ECCM. Oh my. Ugh. Alright. I think as long as we get the Sunder off the battlefield, then the hammerhead, we should be fine. I think our Wayfarer should be able to bully these vigilances and get rid of them. So long as we grab their attention and we take all the missiles first. Alright, let's go ahead and move into engage. This is a much more difficult fight, but as long as we stay like calm and collected, we should be able to handle this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys hang out in the back line. Just because you don't have full shields. What I want to do is basically wrangle up all of the vigilances, or just destroy as many vigilances as I can for right now. Alright, we want to make sure our shields are all the way up first. And of the two, it might actually be worth getting rid of the hammer first. Yeah, those things don't do anything to our shield. Alright, let's go drop our flux. Shield up. Okay, we might actually have a chance to go after the Sunder here. Very risky here, obviously. But if we can get rid of that Sunder, then yeah, we don't have to worry about the high intensity laser. Alright. So we pulled off 2 vigilances. I think the rest of our fleet can handle this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna issue some engage orders. We're gonna keep all of them together. So if I put 3 on these 3 should work together against the 1. Then they should move on to this. After I see that vigilance message, vigilance destroyed message pop up, then I'm gonna go ahead and issue another one. In the meantime, we're gonna try to work down these 3. The way I'm gonna do that is I'm actually gonna move back down. Well, I'm gonna move diagonally this way and then back down, so that way I can loop back in with the rest of my fleet. Ideally, we pick off these 2 vigilances in the meantime, and then we pick off the hammer. So let's put that into action. We're gonna drop our shields really quickly and shield up. Toss our flares out whenever we can. Alright. Nice. Get rid of another one. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and shield up here. Now we want to just keep checking in on our ships. They're doing okay. But we do have to be careful here. And then as far as your weapons go, I mean, you just have all kinetic, right? So if we drop our shields, we should be fine. Alright, let's shield up a little bit as it starts to eat into our hull. Okay. Cool. So that's eliminated. Let's go ahead and pick off this vigilance right here. Man, not having ECCM package is rough. We have a very nice counter to these vigilances in the form of our active flares. So active flares are really nice because they'll actually seek out the missile and then destroy it. Alright, what else we got? Let's head over here. Try to break this up real quick. That Vigilance is having the worst time. It's getting tore up by broadswords. Okay. I would upgrade that to an eliminate order, but I'm just a little worried that these ships would end up destroying themselves if I did that, so... Right. Yeah, I'm afraid the Shepherd would destroy itself if I gave it that eliminate order. I'm gonna have you go on that, see if you can destroy it. I'm gonna upgrade this to eliminate order, see if you guys can destroy that. So when you're pursuing a target, what you want to do is you want to make sure they have their shields up as much as possible. As their shields up, they don't have the 0 flux boost that they would otherwise have, so you can close the distance if you have a safety override ship. So now that they're in range of our tactical laser, they're probably going to keep their shields up the entire time, which means we can easily close that distance. One of the ways you can do that is, as you saw, with fighters, but another way you can do it is also with missiles. So if you have like anything like pylons or salamanders, they'll also prompt the ship to throw its shields up, which allows you to close in on them. So we win this. Just decent strategy there, just picking the high value targets and eliminating them. We're going to pursue them. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to let our second in command handle it. And then whatever survives after that, we're going to go ahead and give a follow pursuit. The reason being is we just have low CR on our smaller frigates. And if we deploy them, there's a chance they could destroy themselves in combat. Versus sending them second in command in, where they don't face any risk of being destroyed. Nice, and it looks like we get absolutely everything. So we'll consider ship recovery. Fingers crossed the Atlas is in there. It's not, but we do get the hammer and we do get a Colossus. We'll absolutely take that. Pick through our wreckage here. And oh boy, that is what you like to see. So we'll take the fuel and then we'll take as much supply as we can. We'll actually drop the domestic goods and just take more supply. Nice. What we're going to do with our 2 skill points is we're going to take bulk transport so we get additional space. And then we'll take salvaging, which is going to increase the amount of loot that we get after combat. Nice. Let's go back here. Let's grab some more. And then let's continue on to Kamari Kingdom. Now we need to keep in mind that we have this cloud of supply waiting for us right outside of Kamari Kingdom. And that'll be supply that we keep for the rest of our fleet. So heading in, Chalcedon is directly above the star, so we'll go ahead and jump in right here. Ooh, interesting. And getting that hammerhead is really nice because that'll be our new flagship. So with Kamari Kingdom, you want to make sure that you're trading on the black market. If you trade on the open market, you're gonna pay taxes, and it really doesn't make sense to pay taxes to the Luddic Path. Additionally, with pirates, it's even more confusing because their open market is red, so you just want to double check that you're trading on the black market when you do that. So let's go ahead and sell off some heavy armaments. They don't need heavy machinery, which is interesting, but they do need supply. So we'll go ahead and sell off, not all of it, but we'll sell off 2,000 for a nice profit. And what else do you need? I think that's it for now. Let's go ahead and buy some hull mods. I mentioned this before, but the reason why you want to buy all the hull mods you can is because they repeat. So if you don't buy them now, then they're just going to show up again later. Let's go ahead and see if you have, oh, sorry, a couple things we need to take care of. Let's go ahead and add in expanded cargo holds to you. Let's go ahead and strip you. Let's add in expanded cargo holds here as well. You need all dry field as soon as possible, that's for sure. Also add in auxiliary fuel tanks. And then you are going to be our lovely new flagship. A little bit odd going from a cruiser back down to a destroyer, but we can do a lot better in the Hammerhead than we can do in the Apogee. Let's go ahead like that. Just something simple. Place ourselves in here. And I think that's good. One thing I want to fix really quickly is let's go to weapon groups and let's put our Vulcan cannon on a different channel. As well as you. Let's make sure our weapon groups make sense. We want our sabos linked. We do not want them on different channels. And then we want our assault chain gun and our heavy machine gun on the same channel. The reason being is these are both facing in the same direction. So you can look at the two pie charts. They're both pointed forward. So what that means is they're going to fire. Basically what I want them to do is I want them to fire at the same target. All right. And then, I mean, you're still good to go. Cool. Alrighty. As far as ships for sale, what do you have? You have a salvage rig. We're definitely going to scoop that up. And you have an eradicator on the black market, so we will scoop that up as well. That's fantastic. We want the salvage rig because it's also going to provide us that extra bonus post-combat. So salvage gantry is going to provide us that extra resources after combat. And I mean, you don't really... If I give you expanded cargo holds, yeah, that's nothing. I guess for right now, we'll just fill you full of vents. I don't know. Interesting. There's really no medium. Ew. For the first time in ever, we're gonna go ahead and slap a thumper on the face of it, just because it's better than undermounting with a small in here. And we have high explosive in the form of hammer torpedoes. Alright. Let's go ahead and buy some crew. We'll buy a decent amount because we do plan on expanding pretty quickly. And we'll need them. And then the final thing that we're going to do here is we're actually going to purchase the transmasonic ore. The reason we're purchasing the transmasonic ore is we're going to our next destination, which is going to be Captain Starworks, where we can sell this off for a very good profit. Alright. Other than that, I think we're good. We could buy these domestic goods and sell them to the Grenier Pirates. I think we'll actually do that as well. Nice. We have an officer for hire. You're steady with field mod. We'll go ahead and hire you and we'll upgrade you to aggressive. And we'll stick you in the... Apogee. Field mod is really nice on the Apogee as well as on other ships because the Apogee starts with really good shields and field mod just makes it even better. Alright, good job everybody. Let's go ahead and jump out. Drop that. We don't have enough cargo capacity to pick up the rest of those supplies. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell off the transonic ores and then double back. It should still be there by the time we get back. We're just going right next door. Let's go ahead and jump in. Make this sale real quick. So this is what I'm talking about. With pirates, the open market and the black market are the same exact color. I really wish this wasn't the case. I wish this was a different color, but no big deal. We'll go ahead and buy up the home mods. Make sure we're on the black market. Then go ahead and sell off our transonic ores. We tripled our credits there for that. Buy some decent weapons. We can buy heavy armaments as well as heavy machinery for cheap. I will buy the fuel because we'll always need that. And then we can sell these off to Grenier, so that's where we'll go next. As far as ships go, what do you have for sale? You have another salvage rig, so we'll purchase that. So we're good on salvage rigs now. We have 2. You have a venture. Believe it or not, I actually did not mean to purchase a venture. I meant to just look at it and put it back, but that's fine. We can go ahead and add survey equipment and efficiency overhaul to bring down the cost of our salvage rigs, as well as just make them a little more effective if we ever do go exploring. As far as missiles go, we're going to want to deck this out with harpoons. And now at this point, we have enough survey equipment and the like we can go ahead and sell off the Shepherd. So the way we want to do that, just the same, you want to make sure you're on the black market and then go ahead and hit sell. Similarly, we can get rid of the Wayfarer. We can go ahead and sell you off. Really great ships though. I don't want to underrate what they provide for us. And we might as well buy the Phaeton since we have the credits for it, and that's gonna secure us as far as traveling goes. I would add auxiliary fuel tanks and efficiency overhaul. Just fill that out. Now we don't have a medium energy. I mean, well, we have one, but we have to steal it from the apogee. That doesn't really make too much sense. But as far as the rest of the ship goes, we're gonna go ahead and add in 2 hypervelocity drivers, as well as we don't have expanded missile racks yet. Okay. Go for expanded cargo holds, as well as dedicated targeting core. Enough vents to cover our shields and our weapon flux, and then the rest all in capacity. Should technically be like that. Yep. And then we will rearrange really quickly. There we go. Storage, salvage, and then fuel. And then we can go ahead and strip you and then sell you as well. Now, if you forget to strip your ship, what'll happen is you'll just sell it for the value of all your weapons anyway. So, we sold that on the black market or open market. So you don't lose out, but you won't get to keep those weapons, obviously. So just be careful. I believe if you do sell it though, you can just buy it back. Yeah, but you have to pay full price for it. So just be aware of that. We'll keep the Buffalo for now, but we're looking for a second Colossus, or better yet, an Atlas whenever we can find it. And this is the fleet so far. Any officers? You don't have any. You don't have any good missions either. Alright. Let's go ahead and jump back into hyperspace. Hello. And let's go grab those supplies. And let's carry on. So something we can do here is we can check up on how much time is remaining, and it says it has 3 weeks. So that's fantastic. We can also grab the domestic goods, as well as the little errant weapons. We could grab the metals, but metal's usually never in demand. So I'm very, very quick to drop it off to make space. Alright, let's sort our inventory. We need to head to Career with 600 heavy machinery. We'll keep about 100 for ourselves. Heavy armaments can also go to Career, so that's fantastic. Domestic goods needs to go to Grenier. And we'll just sell them all of it. And then the metal is whatever. Alright, so let's head over to Asconia and let's head over to Career. And then I'll show off how you would do something like selling on the black market. Oh, hello. That's unfortunate because our cargo is actually full right now. But anyway, selling on the black market on like a patrolled system. Career is a really good example of how to get away with it. 2 hammers, an eagle, and a brawler. What's our fleet strength looking like? Pretty solid. I'm actually gonna take this fight and I'm gonna leave. No, 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 no. We're gonna go trade first, then pop back into hyperspace. They're heading to Orthus, which is, if I could open my map. Where's Orthus? They're heading to Orthus, so Samara. So once we pop back out, then we'll go ahead and follow them to Samara, and then we'll go ahead and attack them. They won't have as much as the fleet that we previously fought. You can tell because they only have a Colossus and a Buffalo, but that should still be a decent haul. Alright, so I'm gonna jump in here. We want to put our transponder on just so that we don't alert any patrols. We do a quick peek around looking for any fast pickets or patrol fleets. We don't see any. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead into the asteroid belt, the Opus ring here, and if you'll notice, because we're in a some kind of like obscurant, so like the debris field, our sensor profile actually goes down pretty significantly. Now you can't really tell because our transponder's on, but if we were to turn it off, now you can see hiding inside of asteroid belt, it goes down very significantly. What'll happen is the detection range of any nearby patrols will decrease, and then we can slip right into career with none the wiser. Now, when you approach a planet with your transponders turned off, you don't have any access to the open market, so you can only trade on the black market, which is really good. So let's go ahead and dump our goods. Also sell the metal because there's never a good market for it. And hit confirm. And just like that, we go ahead and make our credits back. Now the really cool thing is when you trade on the black market with your transponder off, you don't generate any suspicion because nobody knows who you are. So if you want to maintain good relations with a faction, try your best to find like an asteroid field, distract the patrols, slip in when patrols aren't there, do whatever you can to approach a planet with your transponder turned off, conduct your trades, and then afterwards you can turn your transponder on. If you don't care about the reputation though, then just, you can just leave it as is. All right. What else we got? I think that's it as far as what we want to purchase. We could buy recreational drugs. However, that's considered contraband here. So if we're ever inspected inside of Esconia, then they're going to confiscate that from us. So we don't want to purchase that. All right. Next up, we're going to head over to Grenier Pirates. That's over in Corvus. You want us to deliver ore for 71? Okay. And you don't really have any excess. So now that we're done with our trades, in order to avoid any additional suspicion, we're going to go ahead and turn our transponder on. And just like that, we're going to leave the system. We should have bought fuel. That's fine. We could buy fuel in Corvus now. With our transponder off, let's see if we can't find that fleet heading to Orthus. If they got away. That fleet heading to Orthus might have gotten away, so instead we'll just go ahead over here to Grenier and sell off this. With our next level, we're going to want to pick up, let's see. Interesting. We're gonna pick up containment procedures. The reason being is it'll just help us with our fuel. We're gonna spend a lot of time in hyperspace, and just being able to maintain our fuel is gonna be very beneficial for us. Nice. Let's check the black market first. Even better. We get advanced optics and ECCM package, two of the best hull mods you can ask for, as well as expanded missile racks. So that is all fantastic. We'll go ahead, make sure that we're on the black market. You can tell because we're not paying any tariffs. We'll confirm, give that nice 600k, and then let's go ahead and buy out the shop. You never know when you'll need these weapons, so you might as well buy them as you see them. And then let's make some upgrades here. So we'll drop the pulse laser, drop some of the PD, go ahead and put the auto pulse laser in. Mining blaster is okay, so we'll leave it as is. We'll drop the Sabo since we have squalls, put an ion cannon on the front of it. Drop expanded cargo hold since we don't need it anymore. We don't need dedicated targeting core because we have safety overrides. And we're gonna go ahead and throw down, where you at? ECCM package. So ECCM package makes or breaks your missiles. You really want ECCM package on things that are guided, so like squalls, your harpoons. They all benefit from ECCM. And let's go ahead and slap on expanded missile racks. We can't. I guess we're dropping the ion cannon. Alright. Well, that works. We're not going to do any build-ins, just because I think that's a little unnecessary. Same thing here. We're going to go with expanded missile racks. We have to get you an assault chain gun, man. That's rough. I will just leave that as is. We'll upgrade these to light duels. Yes. Think that's fine. And then those are fine as is. I will swap you out for a light duel for defense. And I think we're good to go. Swap you out for efficiency overhaul. Alright, you have an excess of volatiles, which sometimes you can sell to Syndria. It doesn't look like that's the case this time. And as far as your black market goes, look at that. We have another Eradicator, so we'll go ahead and purchase that. And we're not really going to be able to outfit it effectively. Yeah, we're going to have to clean that up eventually. But I think this is a good start to the episode. We have a pretty decent fleet. We got to 500,000 credits. Total, we probably did hit 1 million, but we spent a lot of that. But now that we have a decent fleet, we can go ahead and move on to the second stage, which is going to be borrowing ships from the Hedge, Lion's Guard, as well as Tritachyon. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that first episode of Breaking the Rules. Other than that, Grumpy out.